In this video, I'm going to be going over one of the largest US suppliers in groceries. Their name is KeHE. I want to see from a point of view of a new Amazon seller, can we actually make any money from a supplier of this size? Now, KeHE is worth around $4 or $5 billion, I've read somewhere. So they're a huge supplier. They have a very large price list. Now, what they usually do is they offer a small discount to all the newcomers. You know, they'll hook you up with a rep and the rep might give you an 8, 10, 12% discount, for example. But they're more suited, or they're, KeHE is more tailored to the larger seller. The type of seller that is purchasing $50,000 or $100,000 at least per month from them, because that way they analyze, the last 3 months of purchases they've done, and they can give you an even bigger discount on those, on your next, the next few months of purchasing from them. So they really do these tiered discounts. But from the point of view of a new seller, let's see if we can actually make any money. Now, the problem with KeHE is by the time a new seller, fully analyzes a list, using the conventional software, it might take more than 2-3 weeks, or, you might have your VAs working nonstop for a week or so. By the time you do that, the products that you're looking to buy have most likely already been sold to other bigger sellers, or people that already understand, are plugged in and know what they want to buy. So we're going to be using a very advanced tool to analyze products and see how we can find, the gems, and see if, from the point of view of a new Amazon seller, can we make money from KeHE? So let's jump into the price list for now. Now, here's what we see when we look at KeHE's list. So we have the UPC, the item number, the kind of like a category over here, description, and we have a bunch of different details. Now, I'm just going to hide some of the ones that we don't really need. So this one here, these columns here, for example, I'm just going to hide them. We have the case pack. We have the sell by date and the days remaining. So that's a very important one. I'm going to sort these by smallest to largest, and I'm going to remove anything that has, has less than half a year of days remaining. They're going to expire. I don't know why there are some that have minus. It's a bit weird, but we're going to remove them as well. So I'm going to go down and, just keep things that have at least 180 days, at least half a year worth of stock. So let's delete all those. That's 120, 130, keep going down. All right, 180. All right, so everything else, everything with less than 6 months worth of stock is being deleted. Okay, there goes that. Next, we have applied a standard discount. I get a bigger discount, but I've applied a standard, which is around 12% discount that most of the sellers are actually getting, new sellers are getting from what I hear. This is the standard wholesale pricing. This is our discounted price. And let's go and see what else we can filter out from this list. So I'm just clicking on the filters over here, and I can see that there are things that we don't need. So I'm just going to clear everything. So I'm going to filter bulk. We don't need bulk because we're selling on Amazon FBA. You can't be selling bulk stuff. You can't get a truck full of walnuts. You can't sell that. Frozen, it's FBA again. We can't sell frozen. What else do we have that we can't sell? Refrigerated. So those, I'm filtering those, and there are, let's see how many in this list there are that fall under those categories. So there's another 1,752. So we're going to delete all these 1,752 as well. And I think after that, we're pretty much ready to, to upload to Astro. Okay, let's go back and look at the list. Okay, so let's see how many ASIN or UPCs we're going to be uploading to Astro. So there are approximately 12,000 at the moment that we're going to be uploading. So these are all products that are in stock. Actually, we didn't check the stock rate, the stock level. So here is the stock, the quantity available. So let's go again, largest to smallest. And anything with 0, of course, we can't, they don't have it available. So we're going to delete anything that has less than, well, there's quite a few that have 0 in stock. What's the point of even showing us this if they don't have it available? All right, anything that's less than 12 units is gone. Okay, so actually that kind of brought us down to quite, just a few. That's not too many right now. So we have in the list at the moment, there are just over 5,000 units. So let's go ahead and upload this to Astro and let's see how we go. Okay, so to upload, you just go to bulk upload over here and you drag and drop the products in there. Now that that's here, we just click on the UPC. We're going to be using the UPC as an identifier. Let's locate the UPC column. It's right there. The price is the discounted price that we mentioned earlier, discount. Item number, description is right there. And let's also add some additional columns. I want to add the sell by date and the quantity on hand, which is quantity on PO. All right, we're going to click import and I'll be back when this is done. Okay, so now the list is ready. We're ready to start analyzing this list and seeing what we can actually find. Just going over what you actually see in Astro. So you can see the full image of the product there, all the images, you can zoom in. When you hover over, you can see a little brief, you see basically what, the title of the ASIN is, if there's, the brand of the ASIN, any associated UPCs. And if you've uploaded your supplier's details, you can also see them there. So you can actually just simply compare. So this one here, for example, is Bob Red's granola maple sea salt. And I can see that it's the same product. I should have included the brand in here as well. It would have been easier to see. Well, anyway, next time, I guess. So you can compare and see if it's the right product. This one is a 2-pack. We obviously have input 1-pack, so you need to tell Astro that it's a 2-pack. And now we see that this product is a loser. This is our pricing. Any alerts appear here, IP alerts, brand alerts, variation, multiples. If you want to see if it's a variation, you just click on variation. You can see all the products that, all the variants of this ASIN. For example, this one here has these 3 variants. You can see each one, which they are. You can see the titles and you can see what attributes they have that differentiates them. So this one is a 2-pack of coconut spice. That's lemon, blueberry, maple sea salt, and so forth. You can see how many offers they have. You can see that Amazon's not in stock of any of them. And you can see that these 2 don't sell a lot at all, but this one here sells 100 units. So the one that we're actually looking at sells 100 units per month. And that's the pricing right there. Okay, so based on all that, we're going to start doing our analysis. I'm just going to apply some simple filtering for now. I'm going to analyze briefly just 1 or 2 ASINs. I'm going to send them to a short list, but then off camera, I'll just analyze the rest, and then we can start going off the actual buy list and see what we can actually buy and if it's worth it. So in terms of filtering, I like doing this specific filter. I don't like filtering by profit. You can filter by profit, the profit's right there. You can filter by profit nice and easily, but I like filtering by the break-even strength. The break-even strength is a real cool feature. So basically what you see in this column here is your break-even, and the color behind it is a score given to your break-even, and it tells you historically how profitable you are. So for example, this one here is red, and if I open up its chart, you can see that historically it's been unprofitable. So the break-even line is right there at the top, the yellow line. And you can see all its history right here. You can see that it's been a loser. You see it's way below the break even. It means that it's always been a losing product. If we go to one with a dark green color like this one here, if we click on that, oh, that's the offers. We want to look at the chart. If you look at this one, you see the break even line's all the way down here and the price is all the way up there. But having said that, this is a 12-pack, so we need to tell Astro that it's a 12-pack, and by telling them that it's a 12-pack, we see that it's become red. It's actually $4 in the hole. But having said that again, we see that the lowest price or the buy box price is an FBM seller at $53.88. So let's compare ourselves to FBA sellers. So there are no FBA sellers. So you could potentially get this product. You can potentially get this product and maybe sell it at $60, $65 as an FBA seller. So if I was to override it with $65.99, for example, there will be a bit of profit in this one. Even having said that, again, I just noticed over here that the brand, we have a notification here that the brand is actually selling this product. So you see that this product is Alta Eco, and the brand is one of the sellers. Anyway, I'm just going to apply some filtering. I'm going to filter by the break-even strength and filter by high sales volume, and let's see what we can actually come up with. So the break-even strength more than Let's make it just more than poor, more than or equal to average. So more than average, more than or equal to average. So we're only going to see products that are average, good, or excellent in there. We can remove any products that have any IP issues, so we don't have any legal problems. We always want to avoid any legal problems, of course, very important. So here there are 3 levels of IP issues. We want to go less than low, so that's basically no issue. I'm not going to be looking at selling anything that's hazmat or meltable, so I'm going to remove hazmat, make that false. Meltables, make that false. I want to sell things that have at least some sales volume, so I'm going to go when it comes to sales volume, the bought in the past month, bought in the last 30 days, I'm just going to say more than 50 for now. And we don't want to sell alongside Amazon, so I'm going to also, whenever Amazon's in the buy box, Amazon in the buy box, we're going to say false. We don't want Amazon to be in the buy box on any of the ASINs we're going to sell. And I think that's enough filters for now. I'm just going to go ahead and apply those filters and see how many ASINs we're left with. So from 3374, we're left with 470. I'm going to just analyze a couple, and then I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to do it off camera, and we'll come back when I'm actually doing the shortlist. So for example, this one here, this one has a loss. We should actually also filter for actual profit as well, for current profit. So also profit, and say more than at least, let's just say at least 80 cents profit. So from 470, we're down to 206. Okay, 206 products. Okay, well, that was quite fast. Now this one here, for example, what I see, it's a 2-pack. So I need to go ahead and type in the number 2 right over there and see if it's still profitable. There's a bit of profit, 20% ROI, a lot of Amazon. Let's go ahead and check out the, if you click on the actual ASIN right over here, you see a full analysis of everything you need to actually be looking at in terms of this product. You can see the charts, you can see all the sellers. See, this product has no sellers at the moment, which is very interesting. Interesting thing to see that there are no sellers. We can go ahead and just look at some of these data points. So that's an interesting product. It potentially it sold quite a few in the recent history, but it's sold out completely from what I'm seeing. No one really has it in stock. So this one will be a cool one to actually get on top of, because we see that it has a decent seller rank. 500 sales per month in beauty and personal care. And yeah, it seems quite good, and there are no sellers at the moment. It's dropped down completely, so no sellers. So if we were to purchase 500 of these at this price, you could probably even increase the price. That would cost us $1,890, and the profit could be $800 on this one. And I'm certain a product like this, the price will only increase given that there are no sellers. So let's look at a couple more. So this one's a 3-pack. It's probably no longer profitable as a 3-pack. 4 cents, probably not enough. Next one here, this is another 3-pack. Okay, well, you get the gist of it. I'm going to now pause the video. I'm going to create a shortlist out of this, and we'll see what we can actually buy. Okay, so I'm back. I went through this entire list. It ended up being around 206 items that I went through. I ended up finding 56 that actually made my cut, my personal criteria. I'm going to send them to a shortlist now. I also I went through all the packaging, make sure that the correct package size has been accommodated for. So if it's a 5-pack or a 6-pack or whatever, it shows up and it's still profitable. I also went through a lot of the products that seemed a bit like, they may be restricted or not, and I requested approval. You can just do that by clicking on this button right there. It takes you to your request approval page. It requests approval for those, and just tested, and around 40, maybe 50% of those I got automatically ungated. I got automatically approved. Some other ones needed transparency codes and stuff like that. I just skipped over them, so I didn't really deal with any ones that needed that needed a transparency code. And I ended up finding 56 products that kind of met my criteria. Now I'm going to send these over to a short list. I'm just going to call it KeHE buy list, and we're going to send that over there. And we're going to see what type of order we can actually get out of a list like this. So I'm going to jump over to the shortlist right now. Okay, so now we're in the shortlist. We're going to start inspecting these with a bit more detail right now. So, a few of these, like this one here, 7%, I probably won't be opting for something with only 7% ROI. But let's go ahead and sort this by, the highest ROI to the lowest. This is a 1-pack, clearly Canadian Mountain Blackberry Sparkling Water. Same product. There are 3,888 units available, so that's a lot. Right there. Now we're going to look at, see if there are any variations, see what's going on with this ASIN. So there are quite a few variations. This one is the one that sells well. So it sells 500 units a month. That's right there. This one here, it's a 12-pack. So we got to put the correct, we definitely got to put the correct quantity in here. So this probably is not profitable anymore as a 12-pack, of course. Let's see what the lowest FBA price is, and there are no FBA sellers. So if we're going to jump in as an FBA seller, we could probably put it maybe at $42, $43 to beat this person out and see if it's profitable at $43. Nope, not profitable. We're going to remove this one as well. Next. This one here has got 146% ROI. It is a pack of one. It indicates right here that it's a pack of one. So let's go ahead and check this one out. Let's first check out the chart and then check out all the other sellers, see what's going on. So there are two FBA sellers, one at $9.40 and the other one at $21.44. So very big difference in pricing there. They don't have too much of the buy box. So what I'm looking at right there is a huge jump in just looking at the chart, a huge jump in price. It really spiked up and the seller count really dropped down. It dropped quite low. So that's something to think about when purchasing a product like this. So over here, the price was okay. It kind of dropped, then bang, went up, like spiked hard all the way up and to the right. So there are still two FBA sellers selling the product. So this is an interesting one. It sells quite a bit. Lots of volume, 11,171 current sales rank in grocery and gourmet. So it's a very interesting one. Yeah, it sells a lot. What is it? Marshmallow spread. Okay, sells quite a lot. If we were to buy 200 units, 240 units, decent amount of profit. Very, very impressive product. I'm gonna make a note to buy 240 of these. So that's potentially how many we could buy of that one. I'm going to continue. These are most likely, that's a multi-pack. It won't be profitable at 12 units. Keep going. I'm just going to delete that first. 1-pack chocolate. Okay. 145% ROI. It's quite a bit of profit on this one as well. So I see this one doesn't have this type of sales volume that it's claiming. So in cases like this, when you see a huge difference between the bestseller rank and the boy in the last day, like you see right here, you should probably go off the drops. Look how many times it drops per month. Make a note to see if there are any variations with which there aren't. So just know that an ASIN like this probably only sells 5 to 10 units a month, and nowhere near the 500 recommended, right, that you see right here. So there's a couple positives when you look at an ASIN like this. Now, one positive is that it's got very high ROI. Great. But it doesn't have many sales. But on the flip side, all the sellers are FBM sellers. So you could probably jump on a listing like this and sell it at maybe like $12.99. Maybe even make a bit more profit. Now, I wouldn't recommend buying too many units. KeHE says they have 480 available. Don't buy 480. It probably won't sell. But it's kind of okay to buy maybe 3 or 4 months worth of stock on this one. So given that it sells maybe 5 units a month, maybe you can probably buy 24. It won't do too much harm to you to buy 24. And there's heaps of profit in buying 24. 203% ROI. It's quite a good product. So I'm just going to make a note to buy 24 units of this one. Next, we have this one, Bardia Tea Linen bag, 25 bag. Okay. Quite profitable, 120% ROI on this one. Let's go ahead and check out all the data here. So lots of Amazon. What I do see is that Amazon has been sharing the buy box at certain points, but at the times that it was sharing it, the the price was well below our break even. So this one is a bit too choppy when it comes to the break even and what I see here. So I'm just gonna remove this one. I'm gonna avoid this one. Yeah, this one's a no for me because of the very choppy break even line, or the buy box line compared to the break even line. So I'm gonna delete that one from our list. Next is this chocolate bites. Okay, let's go ahead and check it out. Now I see again a discrepancy between the seller rank and the bought in the past month that Amazon is showing us. So whenever I see a huge discrepancy between these two numbers, I'm very cautious. I know that it's not much of a seller. Now the 2000 is, sometimes Amazon makes mistakes and they show us numbers that aren't really correct. So you got to always look at the seller rank and the bought in the past month and then make a decision. Now the bought in the past month is real solid because in times when there are variations, it actually gives you a more solid number into how many products each variation sells. But in scenarios like this, when there's a huge discrepancy between the seller rank and the sales in the past month, look at the seller rank. That's a bit more accurate. So a product like this, you should probably look at the drops, that how many times it's dropped in the past month. That would be a better indicator of how many it actually sells. So again, only FBM sellers, similar scenario to the previous one. You can probably increase the price, maybe make it like $19.99. And as an FBA seller, you can still win the buy box over these people. Again, I would be okay with buying 4 months of this because it's so cheap. So maybe buying 24 units. It's decent, but it's not like it's not the type of product that's going to really make a huge difference when it comes to your sales. But if you get a lot of these types of products, if you get 20 or 30 SKUs like this with such high ROI and just wait for it to sell the 4 month period, it could kind of be okay. So this one here, I just need to make sure if it's a 2-pack or not. So no, it's just the packaging. It's one. Yeah, it's only one. Okay, cool. So this one has a lot more movement. So we have 65,000 as a BSR, 100 sales in the past month. It's in beauty and personal care. The average seller rank is around that 68,000 mark. There's quite a few sellers. There are 6 buy box contenders. So in total, there are 7 FBA sellers and 6 of them are within buy box contention. You can see all these people listed at $12.50. They all have a bit of stock on them as well. So interesting one. Again, very profitable. I wouldn't buy too many. I'd probably buy a maximum of 24. Probably take around 2 months, a month and a half, 2 months maybe to sell off. That's the most I would buy of a unit like this, but I'm going to go ahead and add that as well. So our order is starting to form. We started off with the highest ROI products first, so that's why the order is looking real profitable at the moment. But let's just keep going and see what how we end up, because we want to try come up with the biggest order we can from this list. Okay, so let's check out this one. Bit of a choppy buy box over here. I don't like the buy box going up and down like I see over here. Yeah, it's a bit of a deal breaker sometimes when you see Amazon. You see here, you see the price up here, and you see sometimes Amazon's getting the buy box. That kind of shows you that Amazon's not always in stock. I know they appear like they're in stock, but maybe sometimes they're not really available. It's just a way that the chart collects the data, and they show it all there. But this choppiness would show to me that either Amazon stock is not in the correct location for the buy box, or they're just kind of not always available. So it's still a bit of a weird one. I don't like what I see when especially when the price drops to $10.43 that I see here. $10 is the break even. $6.78 is when Amazon drops the price. $6.78. So that's a bit of a red flag in my opinion. It is part of variation. Let's check out all the other variants of this ASIN. So we have 100, which is this one here, I think, FIU. 100 sales for this one, 2,000 sales for that one there, and it's listed at $15.68. So here's where you see and you understand ASINs very well, what's going on. So ASIN, this ASIN that we're looking at right now, FIU, it's 1-pack and it's listed at $16.04. And then the second one, which sells 2,000 units a month, which is a huge seller, is it's a 2-pack and it's listed even cheaper than the 1-pack. So of course, this one's going to be selling very, very well. So if it's the exact same product, nothing changes. So if we get this product at $3.62 and sell it for $15.88, is it profitable? That's another question you have to ask yourself. So maybe you should we could go back to the original one and see, at $6 and $7.64, would this product be profitable? Now, it didn't appear earlier, so probably it's not, or maybe it's somewhere else in this list. But this one for me, it's a no, based on the choppiness of the chart. I would just probably ignore it, or I'd buy very, very few units of it just to kind of test it out. So the recommendation is to buy 50. Again, 50 will sell off, but it's a matter of how low you're willing to price it, if the price does end up dropping. Okay, so this one here, I see that it's a glass jar. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to increase my prep cost, because it's going to need bubble wrap. So $3.49 is still quite profitable. Let's go ahead and check out all the data here. So one seller only, that's one red flag right there. The fact that there's only one FBA seller, but it's not the brand. The brand's called Divina, and it's not the brand. This person has only won 19% of the buy box. So I'll guess or hope that it's basically that seller. Sorry, it's basically people selling off. And from what I see with the chart, it's not a rapid down spike. It's a gradual down spike of the sellers over here. So that kind of indicates that it's just people selling off, or they've had a hard time finding stock. And even KeHE's only got 48 units of this. So this one is a good one in my opinion. Just that, you need to worry. It needs bubble wrap. So 48 units, whoever gets them can actually make some money from this ASIN. I think it's a decent one. I think I tested this earlier. I saw that I could sell it, but it is a 2-pack from what I'm noticing now. The lowest price is an FBM seller, or the buy box price is an FBM seller. Let's see if we can price above, or let's see what the lowest FBA price is. It's $42.42. Now, is it worth $42.48? Is it worth going into it? It's probably going to be like $5-6 worth of profit, and bit of a low ROI. I'm guessing 10% ROI. It's quite low in my opinion. And actually, having said that, I actually see someone here listed at $38.71. So that's not going to happen for me. I'm getting rid of this one. Not very appealing. Okay, Giovanna's pasta 3-pack. So we've put that it's a 3-pack, $1.87. The lowest price, the buy box price is an FBM seller. So let's see if there are any FBA sellers that we can undercut. No. We could probably sell out at $19.99 and it would sell just fine. So this is a nice one. Let's see what a reasonable quantity would be to buy. So the seller rank 37,367 in grocery and gourmet. It's telling us that it sells around 100 units per month. It's quite a bit of drop off in sellers. Not much in stock. KeHE has got plenty, 5,040 units. So this is an interesting one. I would not buy 5,000 units, but I could consider buying maybe about 100 units of these, maybe 120. It'd take about a month and a half to sell off. It could be quite nice. 120 would mean $800 worth of profit. We might have to drop the price a bit, but it's still looking like a good one. For this one, I'm going to go ahead and say let's buy 120 of these. I think I checked it earlier. I think I was available to sell it. I was ungated in this ASIN. Obviously you need to check each and every single ASIN before you buy. You need to make sure you're not gated and you're approved to sell the product before you request the products. So this is an 8-pack. There's quite a bit of profit in it. 91%. It's a lot of profit. Let's just check out the variation viewer. There's quite a few sellers on this one. 1,000, 3,000. Okay, so this one's $2.14 for an 8-pack, and it's listed at $45. Okay, so there are quite a few variations. So the variations are both quantity pack and flavor. So this is the salt and vinegar, and I was looking at the barbecue over here. So there's a lot of variations here, and a lot of them don't sell, but this one does seem to sell. Let's go ahead and just click on the ASIN and just check out the data. So we got a very good sales rank. It is a variation, and it's telling us it sells 100 units a month. So that's kind of understandable that, because it is priced a bit higher than some of the other ones. I think $45 is way too high compared to some of its, some of the other variations in this ASIN list. You'd probably, if at that price, obviously it's got very high ROI, but you could probably maybe sell it a bit lower, like at $42, for example, and you would get more of the buy box. It would sell off quite well, and the ROI is still quite decent. I would probably buy 60 units if you're prepared to undercut the other people. 60 units probably sell quite well, quite fast. So decent one, maybe even more if you're willing to undercut. So that one's okay. So next one, Almond Breeze, dairy free almond, blah blah. Okay. 30. All right, cool. So it's like a milk, or an almond milk or whatever it is, chocolate milk. Might require a bit more in preparation costs. So, and actually even the previous one needed a bit more. The previous two, that's $1.10 because it's a multi-pack, and this is also about $1 for me, $1.10 because it's a multi-pack. So those are still profitable. Okay, so this one, let's go and put $1.10 for this one because it's I don't know, I'm not too sure. It's talk with my prep center about it, but I think there'll be some extra prep costs for a product like this because I don't know, it's a milk box. I think that there'll be some extra cost for that one. Let's go ahead and check out the data. I see that the sales rank isn't too good. 83,000 in groceries, 100 sales per month. That's understandable. I see that there weren't many sellers for a long period of time, and they've just jumped on. We could probably sell this product a bit higher than the current FBM price. If we're going FBA, so it's a decent product. Wouldn't buy 100. Probably only buy around 60 of these, just to I don't know. It's milk. Seems a bit, maybe not. Maybe shouldn't buy too many. So let's click on this one. I'm guessing this is probably a 12-pack. No, given the price, I'm guessing this is just one bottle of water at $9.99. That's what I'm guessing for this one. There's nothing indicating that it's a multi-pack, so that seems okay. It's telling us it sells 2,000 units in 18,000. Bestseller rank is 18,044 in grocery and gourmet. Finding that a bit hard to believe that this sells for 2,000 units. It's part of a variation. Let's check out all the other variants. So there's only two. This one here is the 12-pack. This must be a 12-pack. I see the actual packaging right there. This is a 1-pack. 16.9, it's $47 and $16. $9.99. Yeah, I would tread very lightly on this one. I would not buy anywhere near 1,000 units on this. No way. I'll probably buy maybe 120 as a max. Even 120 is plenty of profit just to test it out. If they all sell off real fast, then I could consider buying way more. There's plenty of room there for sales. So you're kind of getting the gist of it. There's quite a bit of profit. I'm going to go through the entire list now. There's another roughly 30 or 40 to go through. I'm going to go through them all and see, once I finish and I choose the quantity I'm going to be buying for each one, I'm going to unpause the video and I'm going to show you, what type of order we can come up with from KeHE. Okay, so back to the video. Now I'm done with this list. I've pretty much gone to a minimum of 15% ROI, and so that's my lowest point that I've gone for this list. So these ones here, I'm just going to delete them from this list right now. So 35 to 45 are gone, or 34 to 45 are gone. Deleting these. So I'm going to have to go over each and every single one of these just to make sure that I can actually, order them, that they're not restricted, that I'm approved to sell them. And also after I've done that, I have to go to KeHE and ask them, hey, are these products available or can I buy them? Some of them might be restricted for me. So basically what I found, so like in conclusion with this list, so I've managed to come up with an order which is 2,484 ASIN units in total. Because there are multi-packs, it's 3,400 units. It's just under 13K. The prep's going to cost me around $1,700 based on the prep cost that I've put over here. So good plus prep is just under 15K. Now, Amazon fees, 15K, just expect that. Amazon fees are usually even more than your goods. The revenue, 37,000. Profit, nice, $7,000. 49% ROI. So it's a decent order. So what I've come to find with a list like this, that, there's still potential. You just got to know how to research it. And obviously you need a very solid and powerful tool to do it, because otherwise if you had to inspect and analyze, thousands of products with any other tool, it would take forever. This whole thing for me, it took me maybe an hour and 20 minutes in total, just to do this whole thing and come up with this purchase order. Now it's ready to send off, but it does require advanced tools, or you probably need at least 2 or 3 VAs working a few days on it if you didn't have, if you don't have Astro. So you probably need, VAs working 3-4 days, 2 of them maybe, and then you can probably get through a list like this, because you essentially had to go through around 2,000-3,000 products to get to this final purchase. So like I said, there is potential even for new sellers. The biggest pitfalls though are basically if you're gated in a lot of these products. So I'm gonna have to check every single one of these products again to see if I'm gated or not. But I did check quite a few of them. There's some that I just know from experience that I'm not gated. Other ones, I know that if they're iffy, they might be a bit, not 100% certain if I'm gated or not. I checked and I saw, I only proceeded with the ones that I was approved to sell, but I have to recheck these. And obviously the next part is sending this order. I'm going to download this order right now. Download this as a purchase order. Going to download this order just like it is right now, and I'm going to send this off to KeHE and see if they're, which ones are available. Maybe KeHE might not let me buy some of these, so there's a high chance that the actual brand might not even say, the supplier might say, hey, you're not allowed to buy this one, this one, this one, and this one. So that's obviously in the realm of possibilities as well. But regardless of that, I was able to come up with a $12,000 or $13,000 order just from this list, which has a decent amount of profit. And these products, the way the units, the quantities I've actually ordered, will guarantee that they'll sell off within a month, because I haven't over purchased. And there are a few sus seller rank, like that don't sell that high, like this one here, 232,000. It doesn't sell that well. I only bought 24 units, so it's a very high likelihood that they'll all sell off. Maybe a few might be a bit slower, so some that I purchased a bit over, but they will sell off. The majority of these will sell off quite fast. There are some that sell in very high volume. Those ones, you probably want to do like a test order, maybe just buy a few. If they sell off and everything works out well, next time purchase a lot more. If everything is okay and you don't come up with any issues. So that's part of reordering. On the whole, I think it's a good list, but you need to have either a lot of time or a lot of resources to be able to go through it fast, or just get Astro and you can go through it straight away. I think there's still plenty of potential to source from KeHE. In conclusion, plenty of potential. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. If you want to get access to Astro, there's a link in the description below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.